And poof, just like that, we're live. Facebook guys, namaste. God bless. How are all of you? Haphazardly put together this show tonight because I saw something yesterday after last night's show. I said, oh my goodness, here's another component to the old mental toolbox that I want to share with you guys tonight. But it's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. National Fluff Another Day. That stuff, man. Yeah. But yeah, I couldn't do it on the peanut butter. But in hot chocolate, it's fab. That was the old poor man's snack growing up back in Hamden, man. It's also listen to this. National Bring Your Teddy Bear to Work Day. Does that qualify as like an emotional support animal? I don't know, but if I brought a teddy bear in, I don't own one, but if I brought one in, there'd be some issues. But it's also National Pierogi Day. Much love to the ex for that. You know, she's on the Polish side, and her family introduced me to all that stuff, man. That was killer back then. Haven't found, her grandmother made, her bocce made the best pierogies out there. Loved it. But getting to my point now, because I'm going to get right to the quote box, and this is what I'm friggin' talking about every day. As much as I can with America's Mentor. It comes from Roosevelt. Believe you can, and you're halfway there. Believe you can, indeed. That's what I talk about. The mentality creates your reality. The mentality starts the process, but now they are divulging stuff on the internet. It's finally coming to good news beyond the politics and porn, man. This stuff here, it brings relevance to exactly what I say, what thousands of other people say out there, from how your mentality creates your reality. There's a physical component involved with that now. And this stuff you only saw back, thank God for the internet, because you would find this buried in libraries. It's been around forever. So it would have been buried in libraries, medical journals, stuff that we don't have access to or didn't have access to. Now, thanks to the internet, and man, everything is out there in the open. So there's no reason why all of us should not be or have or do whatever we want in life and create the most from it. There's no more limitations. There really isn't. When you focus on exactly what Roosevelt said, believe you can, which a lot of us do to a point. But they don't. When they don't see it on the outside, they're like, what's going on? Why don't I see it? But they don't realize it's manifesting from the physical level, and I'm going to show you guys here. This came from M on the Brain on Instagram. The lady is top notch. Love her to death. And her video popped up on my feed as I got my feed programmed to bring me all kinds of good stuff, man. But she noted and denoted these amazing words about what you can't see turns into what you can see from a neuroscience perspective. Not even a perspective. This is a fact. And this is what I love sharing here on America's Mentor. She starts out on page 1. Science shows you have to believe in something before you see it. That's pretty much relevant, what we talk about here all the time. Listen to this, though. Your brain is always creating your reality based on what it expects is going to happen next. This is predictive processing. My commentary on that is the reticular activation system is always at work. You align it, you coordinate with it with your thoughts, and it starts pointing out exactly what you're focusing on every day. This just shows from a scientific level how the reticular activation system works from her perspective, and I love it because it's all relevant to who we are as people. We just got to learn how to understand and use the tools correctly. She goes on to say, instead of waiting for life to happen, your brain is constantly predicting what's coming next. She goes on to say, and filtering your experiences to match. Hence the reticular activation system in full force out there, showing you the world from your perspective, from your opinion, what you expect about life. And this is so profound to me, because when I started expecting better, many moons ago, even the 12 by 12, even though I didn't have a pot to piss in, I know I could still piss in a pot. I always knew there was something better out there. I always knew that there was a new horizon. I had to find the horizon. A lot of you are experiencing that now, because every time I talk to people out there, oh, this is bad, that's bad, this is bad. I mean, their verbiage is filled with negativity. Therefore, it can only create from that negativity. And granted, it's just talk. Talk is everything, man. What comes out of your mouth is coming from in here. It's what you believe in. So the key component of transformation, as I mentioned in last night's show, is repetition indeed. What you constantly do, you're going to constantly get better at. Listen to this note. This is quite phenomenal. People say, Jer, how long do you journal every day? And they asked me that, my employees asked me that, oh, you like journaling? But I said, yeah, I do it about a half an hour every day, which is great. Do you realize 18 minutes a day, 18 minutes a day, for 365 days, you've just done 100 hours of self-analysis. Really think about that with your journaling. 100, that's like a BA, a lowercase BA in college, the amount of time spent doing that, just for 18 minutes a day. Transformation is really that simple. 18 minutes a day, you can do that reading, you can do that journaling, you can do that meditating. You spend those, and the great thing about that is you can only get better at it, man. That this is the beauty of self. When you stop focusing on distractions and start focusing on your destinations, your brain gets conditioned to work that way. That's the beauty of it that we never knew about. We thought there was a deity out here, or this person had to give us a shot in life. No, we are our own shot. We are our own attraction. We are our own magnets. And when you grasp that, you'll realize the true power that you have, man. But you have to understand how to use the tools. I work on this every day because I love how the mind works and how the brain and the mind, which you can't see out there, is wired together through energy. And the whole point of you is creating a better vibration. Hence, this way you attract what you're looking for in life by how you're feeling every day. What you're focusing on, what you're thinking on, what's coming out of your mouth, the internal language you're speaking to yourself, who you're coordinating with, hence your heart and your mind. Are they in sync with what you're trying to have, be, and do? Those are key components. But now you jack in 18 minutes a day of learning, however it may be, either about what I'm talking about on a greater in-depth level, or just a personal analysis of your thinking every day. You take an inventory of your thoughts, you're going to be scared, man. I can tell you right now, because the 60 to 70,000 thoughts that we have every day, I probably do about 90, man. I'm an overthinker, but we're all overthinkers. But the point is, what are you overthinking about? Because that's a component in where you're headed, because you're just telling your brain, look for lack, look for poverty, look for abundance, look for prosperity. You have the choice, man. We were given free will to choose in this world. And that's the beauty about life, man. It should get you excited, because now you realize you're in control of your destiny. Life is not throwing you nothing that you're not throwing at it to get it back to you. And I'm going to get back to my point here and going on with this banter. I finished off in filtering out experiences to match. Listen to this. The expectation effect, what was I just friggin' talking about, is one of the reasons why the placebo effect works. Believing a pill will help you creates measurable biological changes because your brain makes your expectations real. Oh my goodness. But it goes much deeper than that, because your brain does not show you everything that is there. Your brain filters out over 99% of all sensory data and only reveals to you what it believes relevant to you, hence your beliefs. What you constantly focus on, what you expect, what you believe is going to start manifesting in your outside world. So it's imperative that you take an inventory of your constant thoughts. I'm not saying write them on paper, meatball, and put them on your computer screen. All I'm saying is it'll give you a better perspective. It'll give you an utterly better perspective of who you are, because you could change that, man. You can change it from the inside, and it'll start transforming on the outside. She goes on to say, so if you only base your life and your goals on what you can currently see, you're living inside a narrow version of reality. What that's saying is you've placed limits. Your beliefs have created limits in your life. If you don't think you're good enough, but you want love, okay, you're going to attract love from a person who thinks the same way as you do. And then you're going to get pissed off. Because after a while, say, wait, I didn't want this. Yes, you did. Because you were thinking about it. You expected it. You thought about it. You believed in it. And it has manifested in your life. She goes on to say, one built by your past beliefs and not your future potential. That was the ending of that sentence. So let me reiterate that. Let me clarify here. So if you only base your life and your goals on what you can currently see, in other words, what's in front of you now, and you say, this is it, this is my life, this is what's happening right now, you're going to start creating a foundation of beliefs around that. And the worst thing is you develop a conviction that this is my life, this is my lot in life. You don't want to get to that point. You really don't. You want to open your vision to the most amazing life that you can have. I'm not saying jump around with balloons in your hand. All I'm saying is on the inside. This is where everything starts. You're halfway there when it starts in here. The other half is your physicality created from it. So keep on going. So if you only base your life on your goals, on what you can currently see, you're living inside a narrow version of reality. One built by your past beliefs and not your future potential. Your limitations of your thinking are creating limitations and of opportunities in your life. This is what they're talking about here. They're saying it starts with nothing and creates into something. And she finishes, as long as you let your circumstances define, you will stay stuck. You have to believe and change before it comes. Scripture has been saying that. Every friggin' ism has been saying that throughout for centuries, telling us, believe and ye shall receive. It's not some mystical theory anymore. This is a scientific fact now, that thoughts do become things. But it's not just your thoughts. It's more of all the components that go with it. When you grasp that, when you realize the true power that you have, it should empower you to believe even further that you can go further. This is not about inspiration. This is about transformation. Because when you start on the inside, that's all I'm asking. That's all these people are trying to motivate you to do. You start with a better perspective on the inside. It becomes a foundation, a belief, a conviction, a reality. And it's really that simple. But you have to, 18 minutes a day. 18 minutes a day of focusing on yourself. What a concept. No more distractions. You focus on me. Not the Me Too, the You Too movement. Focus on yourself and your goals and your dreams and your desires. Because if you're lacking now and you're creating a belief behind that of not feeling worthy enough, not believing in yourself, that just gets stronger. You're reinforcing that, and your reticular activation system that's listening to your thoughts every second is saying, okay, they're focusing on shit. Let's give them more of that. It's imperative that you surround yourself with the sphere of influence that'll bring you up. It's imperative that you create better feelings for yourself, for a better health-wise in general, for your own self-worth. So really grasp that. Really think about it for yourself and understand that. Believe you can, and indeed you are halfway there. So guys, America's Mentor, happy Wednesday to you. _radio on Instagram, hashtag America's Mentor on America's Mentor on YouTube. It's time for dinner, guys. Enjoy your Wednesday. I hope this helped. More mental power tools for your toolbox, man. Enjoy, relax, take in, absorb, learn, grow, destiny. Boom. I'll see you guys soon, man.